Hello, my name is HAPruitt, and I am the author of the Anathalian series, and I am also an editor. And this video and this video series is going to be about editing your book. I'm going to explain how to edit a book, all the stages, all the steps. Not all steps are going to be absolutely necessary to edit a book, but all of the steps will be helpful in making your book the best it can be, whether you're traditional publishing or self-publishing. A lot of them will apply to both before you even get your book to the point of sending it to query or sending it to an editor. This will help you self-edit your book to make it the best it can be. If you want to know about my editing services or the 4 types of editing, I have that in a video, and I'll put that video down in the description you can watch. If you're interested in hiring me as an editor, or you just want to know like the basics of the 4 types of editing, then you can watch that video linked in the description. And if you have any questions or if you have suggestions of editing topics, please leave them in the comments. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the video for this week. This is the 15th video in the editing series, and it is going to be about beta readers. Another video will follow this one and continue the information. This video is going to be about what are beta readers and how to build a good team of beta readers. The next video will be more about utilizing your beta readers effectively and about their feedback. So, what are beta readers? And to break that down, we're going to start with when do they read your manuscript. So once you have done as much self-editing as you can, that is when you move to the beta reader stage. Once you and your critique partner cannot find or don't know how to fix any more problems, you send it to the beta readers. It's like your last step before an editor. Kind of like beta reading and implementing all the edits and going through it again. The whole beta reading process is your last process before moving to the final stage of having a professional editor. So next, who are beta readers? They can be anyone, but it is most helpful to have authors and readers who read the genre of your book. They are beta readers. They read it before you publish it and sell it to your real readers. So you want a group of people who is representing your real readers. Sorry, the lighting is horrible. This information is, you don't really have to watch it, but this is the only time I can do videos when my kids take naps. Anyway, continuing. You want people who represent your readers and who know how to critique in a helpful way. So, I told children to be quiet. Thank you. So you want people who, and it's really hard to like gauge this, but you want people who are not going to say like, well, this was bad and give you nothing else. You want people to say, this didn't work for me because, and them give an explanation. You want people who are willing to like talk to you and communicate with you. And you can usually tell that by an email. So if you are able to, if you have the luxury of feeling out your beta readers and picking and choosing, pick ones who are able to critique well. Okay. So next about what are beta readers? What do? They read your manuscript and give feedback from the perspective of a reader for free. That's the simple description of it. You send them your manuscript, they give you feedback, and we're going to talk about feedback later. There's a lot to that. But simply, they give you feedback, and they are doing it from the perspective of a reader. They're not supposed to be your editor. You don't want your beta readers to be like, this comma goes here, and this comma goes here, and this comma goes here. They don't have to know a grammar rule at all. They just have to know how to read a book. And they probably need to like to read books. And it's for free. If they're like, oh, well, will you pay me to be your beta reader? Say no. No, I will not. That's not what a beta reader is. So, that was what beta readers are. Next, how do I get these people? How do I get these beta readers? Where are they in the universe? Where do I find them? So start in genre-specific groups. Start with your target audience. Okay, my 3-year-old's carrying the cat across the porch. He's going to get hurt. Hopefully not. I shall continue. Okay, start with your target audience. Ask in groups or send messages to specific people you know enjoy reading the genres or themes of your book. Like, when you get on social media, it social media is not for play when you're an author. It's a tool. Get on social media, create an account, and start looking for people who either write these genres, read these genres, people who say, I like these themes. Like, I have been, for my most recent book, like, anybody who likes fantasy romance, because I'm writing a fantasy romance, I've never done that before. Anybody who is like, I like fantasy romance, I write their name down on this piece of paper. I'm like, I'm gonna write you down, so when I need you, I can talk to you and be like, hey, you wanna like read my book? And tell people about it. Like, anytime you see something. And also what I'm doing for this book I'm writing is anytime like somebody else puts up tropes in their book, I'm like, I read through their tropes and I'm like, is this in my book? And I like write it down, and I write their name down because they have that in their book, and so maybe they'll like it in my book. So do that. Like, find these people who like the themes of your book, who like the tropes of your book, who like the genre of your book. Make you a list, and like, just as you write your book, as you edit it yourself. So when you're to the beta reader stage, you're like, okay, these people might like my book. I'm going to contact them, send them messages, and see if these people want to read it first. So contact those kinds of people first. There's also groups. Like, I'm in a bunch of fantasy groups because I write fantasy books. If you are able to, they sometimes have just days or times you can post like self-posts. And there are groups for just people who want to beta read. Do that first. People who specifically will want to read your book. Okay, next, how do I get beta readers? If that doesn't prove profitable, or if you still don't have as many people to choose from as you want, ask in general groups that like your general genre, like fantasy or YA. Like, I'm part of it, like a Christian fantasy young adult group, and you can only do Christian fantasy YA there. But there are also a group that's just fantasy, that I'm part of, that is just fantasy. So start with the specific, and then next move to general, but still have a focus on, okay, this person has a general interest in what I'm writing, and move to that. Start very specific, then move to more general. And then next, if you don't get enough, which it's up to you how many beta readers is enough, and we'll talk about that in a second. If you still don't have enough people from doing that, put out the call on social media. Just post it and say, this is my book, this is what in it, this is what it's about, who wants to be a beta reader? And go from there. So that's how you find beta readers. And like, people like to read books for free. And so hopefully you're going to find some good readers who just want to read a book that sounds cool for free. And that's usually why I do beta reading or ARC reading. I'm like, that sounds cool. I want to read for free. Hey! And that's how you find your people. So next, how many beta readers should I have? Okay, so again, this is totally up to you, and it's going to be different for everybody. But you want enough to have a variety of opinions so you can compare and contrast to know what you actually ought to change. But you don't want so many that you get overwhelmed. So that's why the number is different for everybody. So these are some things to think about when you're deciding how many beta readers do I want. Think about you. What kind of person are you? Having people judge your book is stressful, no matter what. It's stressful because you can get tons and tons and tons of information. If you have 50 people and they all write you like 10 pages of stuff, that's like 500 pages to read through. That's too much, okay? Too much. And it's just stressful to have so many opinions to kind of sift through. And just so many people like saying, I like this, I like that, I like this, I like that. It's just so much. It can be so much. And like, I know that's very overwhelming for me. The more people I hear, the more voices I hear, I'm like, if one voice says I don't like this, I'm like, oh, that's terrible. And, and then other people say this, and I don't like that, and I don't like that. And it just gets overwhelming. It's going to be overwhelming even if you have 2 people, but you've got to know yourself, and you need to know what you need and what you can handle. If you're the kind of person who needs to hear something like 10 times before you finally get it, you're going to need more people. But if you're the kind of person who takes what one person says and really you like analyze it and overthink it, you're probably going to need less people. Like me, if my husband was a writer, he would need like 500 people because he needs to hear something so many times before he gets it. Me, like one person says one little thing and I overanalyze for days. So I need less people. I need like a 10 people group around that number. He would need a lot more. And it's totally up to you and what you think you can handle, what you think you need. Okay, so second, know the length of your book, and that's going to determine how many people you need. If more words simple equals more chance for mistakes, Oh, I wrote my notes wrong. More words simply equals more chances of mistakes. The bigger your book is, you may want more people. Because some people may not make it through, some people may skip around. The more words you have, the more eyes you want on a book. Beta readers, ARC readers, anything, because just people are going to miss stuff and other people are going to catch stuff, and you need a variety of people to catch everything. You know, not everybody's going to catch everything, but hopefully. Eldon, stop. So third, determining how many beta readers do you need. How much help do you need? If you feel like this manuscript is really solid, like you've done a good job, you've got it to a really great place, and there's like no more major mistakes, no more developmental stuff that you want to like mess with, you may only need a smaller group's feedback, because you may still have some stuff. But if there's not a lot, you don't need tons and tons of people telling you this one tiny place in chapter 1 needs to be changed. You don't need 50 people telling you the exact same thing if there's very few things you feel that need to be changed. You probably only need a smaller group, like 10 people telling you this one small thing in chapter 1 needs changed. This one small thing in chapter 1 needs changed. You get what I mean? But if you are hopelessly stuck, you may need more opinions to compare and contrast, because like 5 people may see nothing wrong with chapter 1, but there may be one person who sees something wrong with chapter 2, one person who sees wrong with chapter 3, one person who sees something wrong with chapter 8, you know, and then 4 people who see something wrong with chapter 14. And you may need to figure out, okay, so 8 people see something wrong with chapter 14, so maybe I actually have to focus on that, but the one in this chapter and the one in that chapter, that may just be their opinion. But having more people shows you, if lots of people think something is wrong here, there's probably really something wrong here. But if one person just says, well, I didn't like this about it, it may just be their opinion. Or it may be they just caught that. You have to... We're going to continue in the next one about how to compare and contrast in the next video. Compare and contrast feedback in order to understand what you need to listen to and what you don't need to listen to. So we're going to stop there. But if you have any questions about beta readers, about what is a beta reader, any of those things we talked about in this video, or any questions that maybe I can address in the next video, and about how many beta readers you should have. Also, one more thing I wanted to say that I probably won't talk about in the next video. A lot of people who say they want to be beta readers don't follow through. So if you want like 10 people, you may take 30 people on your team, because it's usually only like a smaller percentage. I can't remember the last one I did, but I know like we had a bigger group and we only got like 4 people to comment anything. And that's normal. That's normal. Don't feel bad. That's normal. People get busy. Life happens. People forget. Your book is the most important thing to you, but it's not to them. It's just a book. So don't feel bad if that happens to you. If you get a whole bunch of people and you feel like, oh, yeah, I'm really good set up, and only like 4 people say anything to you about your book and only 4 people finish it. That's normal. That happens, especially for independent authors. But you still have 4 people who read your book, who commented on it, and who are helping you, and that's great. Or how many ever, even if just 2, whatever number. Go big, go a little bit bigger, or like double. Go like double or triple of what you actually want to read your book. Invite all those people in, make it a group, you know, do all that. We'll talk more about exacts later. But go bigger, so then you can have people who actually commit and come back to you, because only a small percentage of those people will. So that is my first video about beta readers. The next one in this series will be more about utilizing your beta readers effectively. So that is the editing tip for this week. Please like this video, please leave a comment, please share this video with others. Please check out that video of my editing services and the 4 types of editing in the description below. And remember, this video is part of a series, so please watch the series so you can make your book the best that it can be. If you want to know more about Anna Thalian or HAPruitt, please follow me on Instagram at HAPruitt. You can find me on Amazon as an Amazon author, HAPruitt. Please watch my YouTube channel and all my cool videos on my channel, HAPruitt Anna Thalian. You can find me on the Facebook page, HAPruitt Anna Thalian. You can follow me on Goodreads by the name HAPruitt. and the book Anna Thalion, or you can go to my website where so much cool stuff about Anna Thalion is. The website is HAPruitt.com.